Which is number 2.
Okay. Background, perfect. You, great, perfect. Great. You guys know what you're doing? Everything's good? Les, you know the score. Give them the information about Phil, Franco, Ribisi. Get it out to the audience. Let them know what's going on. You all know what to do? Great. Okay. Camera, roll them.
LA Precinct, scene 1, take 1.
Action!
All right, man. Seems like we have a new player in town. Mario Ribisi and his accomplices. Tony Zeffirelli, Franco Domini, Philip Fishman, also known as Phil the Fish. Tricky guy. So, as you know, there's been a string of robberies around town. They're targeting high-end banks. I believe, and the captain believes, that it's got to be an inside job. Someone inside has to be helping them in advance. Because it seems like there's always a big chunk of money laying around waiting to be put in the safe or whatever, and they go right to it.
So you're saying to me that the bank always is topped off in cash when Ribisi hits. Is that correct? It has more cash
When
on
they
those.
show up, there's a bunch of cash laying around. They scoop it up and take off.
Every bank that he hits is on a high
There's
with
3
cash.
so far.
Ah, that's interesting.
So are these always in the same neighborhood and area?
Different neighborhoods, different areas.
Well, do we know what the connection is or exactly, or what is, making this?
Not yet. That's your job. Find out those connections.
Makes it sound so easy.
Let's get out there. Let's nail these guys, man. Because if we don't, no one else will.
We're gonna make you proud, Cat.
And cut! All right, gentlemen. Excellent job. Excellent, excellent. Very good. Camera, excellent. Sound, excellent. Everyone, excellent. That's it for today. Back tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Woo!
Oh, that's great.
You bet.
Okay, here.
May I help you, sir?
Do you know where the prop guy is?
Prop guy is gone. He's long gone.
Well, I really need to return this badge and gun to him.
Hey, mister, what do you think? We live our whole lives here? We got wife and kids and family. So if you got props to return, I suggest bring him back tomorrow morning sometime. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll just hang on to these things until the morning.
Very well. Okay,
All right, thanks.
take care.
Your purse, lady. No! I'll cut you. I'll cut you, lady.
No! Leave her alone!
Give me that purse.
Leave her alone!
No! Drugs. Give me your purse. What about you?
No! Help! Help us! Somebody's stealing our stuff! Help! Anybody here? Help!
I'm not leaving here without your money, lady.
No!
Freeze!
No!
Freeze! Police! Drop your weapon. On the ground. On the ground. Get down. Now. Get down.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, God. Oh.
Stay there.
We have emergency in the bank. We have a suspect trying to rob the
Somebody get the knife.
It'll be all right.
Don't
It'll
touch
be all
the
right.
knife.
assistant.
Oh.
Come quickly. Thank you very much. You'll be there soon? 2 minutes? Okay. We'll be right here waiting.
Oh, we've been saved.
We'll be right here waiting for you. You're welcome, officer.
Good evening. This is Dan Davidson, KBSA News 14. And now for our top stories.
Talks continue between world leaders as they come to a solution to what might be the most efficient and environmentally safe fuel source for the future. Oh, thank you. This just in. It seems that two elderly ladies who were being mugged at knife point were saved just in the nick of time by who they believed to be a police officer. But it turns out that the officer was not an officer at all, but an extra from general casting, still in costume and with prop badge and gun, having just left the set of the popular TV police drama LA Precinct, where he plays a detective every week. The actor named Bob Phillips was able to disarm and subdue the perpetrator until the real police arrived. It seems along with the perpetrator, the actor was also arrested. In his case, for impersonating an officer, a felony punishable up to 5 years in prison, something that the district attorney, Bartholomew Jackson, wants to see happen. The perpetrator and the actor are both being held in jail awaiting an upcoming trial. Dan Davidson here. I'm at the home this morning of the fabulous actor Richie Weber, co-star of the fine new police drama LA Precinct. I'm hoping to get a couple of words from him about his co-star Bob Phillips and what's happened to him recently. Let's see if Mr. Weber's home. Mr. Weber. Mr. Weber.
Yes, can I help you?
Good morning, Dan Davidson, KBSA News. How are you? Good to see you. I've come by and hope to ask you a couple of questions about your co-actor, Bob Phillips. And how do you feel about Bob Phillips?
Oh, well, Bob Phillips, he's a stand-up individual. You know, he's one of the cool guys that we work with. He doesn't really say much. He's always kind of in the back, just doing his own thing. But, hey, he's a great guy. With a couple conversations I've had with him off camera, he's no complaints on mine.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice fellow. You know, I had the pleasure once of meeting him on the set of your show when I was at your studio visiting. You know, we come sometimes to do a little story or something about just things.
Yeah.
What do you feel about this situation that, your co-actor's in right now?
Tell you what, Bob's one of those guys that he's in the moment, he'll act on his feet, and especially if two ladies are getting, mugged, he's going to jump into it. And to tell you the truth, I would have done the same thing, because that's just, somebody who cannot defend themselves, getting taken advantage of, especially if they're getting threatened.
Yes.
No, that's totally unacceptable. So Bob did what he had to do, and I'm just absolutely proud of the guy. And it's eye-opening what he's been going through, but I just hope it all comes out good.
Thank you so much, Richie. I really appreciate it. Good to see you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Dan Davidson signing off. This is Dan Davidson, KBSA News, reporting from the City Hall offices of District Attorney Bartholomew Jackson, and hope to get a few words from him today. The question is, do the circumstances justify and merit the actions of this background actor from general casting? Here's the DA now. Let's see if we can get a few words from him. DA Jackson, what do you intend to do in the case of Bob Phillips?
What do I intend to do? The only thing I possibly can do, which is to prosecute him to the full extent of the law. No exceptions, no options.
I see.
And no more questions. Some of us have to work for a living. And I can get you for invasion of privacy in my sleep.
All rise for the Honorable Hugh Stevens.
It's okay, you may be seated. I see that we're all here. This is the State of California versus Bob Phillips. Case number LAC 32B9. Mr. Andrews, are you prepared to state your case for the defense?
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would like to submit that my client, Mr. Bob Phillips, is guilty of the crime he is accused of. However, it is obvious that he acted in a noble manner, and therefore he should be commended, not punished. So I would like to ask for his acquittal on the basis of a virtuous behavior of acting as a good citizen and a good Samaritan. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Andrews, you have given the court your opinions to this case, and we appreciate that, and you did state that he was guilty. But the court cannot make any determination of guilt or innocence until the facts are presented by the prosecution and yourself. So we will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, is the state prepared to go forward?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the floor.
Your Honor, are we going to allow this travesty, this mockery of our judicial system? I think not. I'm going to see to it that justice is served to this pretender who has misrepresented the law. Your Honor, if we approve of what this impostor has done, then we are opening up the floodgates to a host of other charlatans. What are we encouraging here? It might be that people will start showing up to fancy restaurants claiming that they're state senators just because they want to be seated before anybody else. We won't know who to trust or believe any longer. And who do we need to trust and believe more than anyone but our police officers?
Excuse me, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'd like to request that my client be allowed to speak on his own behalf.
Mr. Phillips, you have the floor.
I heard the lady is in distress. I saw what was happening. I knew I needed to do something. I've played a cop on TV for so long, it was the most natural thing to do.
Your Honor, may I add something?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would like to hope that there are many amongst us who would intervene to stop a crime in progress if they had the power. And I would also like to add, Your Honor, that I believe that the real sin, the real crime, is if my client would have sat there and done nothing. You see, Your Honor, as a young boy becoming a young man, I was told and taught not only by my mother and my father, but other good people and upstanding people in the community, that evil can only exist when good people, good citizens, good Samaritans sit around and do nothing.
The court has taken your statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Your Honor. Your Honor.
Excuse me, ma'am. You cannot interrupt these court proceedings.
But I am one of the victims.
Oh, well, as one of the victims, you do have the right to speak. The court will listen.
I just want to say something to this young man. I was a nanny, and I raised boys like you. And they became young men that joined the military and went off to war. A lot of them had their arms and legs blown off, but one thing they had was courage under fire. And that's what this young man had when he rescued us from that evil man with a knife. All I know is that you should take a step back and reevaluate yourself on what is right and wrong. I may be old enough to be your nanny, but I'm still young enough to kick your behind.
I pretend I didn't see that. Mr. Jackson, based on the testimony of this young lady, do you have anything further to say?
No, Your Honor. The state wishes to dismiss this case.
Mr. Phillips, you are a free man. This case has been dismissed.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, sir. We did. I can't believe it. It's okay.
Did it, man.
Thank you. So, just next time, just call the cops.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Let's go grab a sandwich.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Okay.
Mr. Phillips, you're a free man. What are your plans now?
I'm going back to my show. All the world's a stage, and all of us are players.
Hi, I'm Tony Rugolo, and I'm so glad you enjoyed my film, as I hope to bring you other great pictures in the future, written by Bob Rich and myself. You know, I grew up in these studios, my father being a famous composer and all, and I'm grateful to all the mentors I've had, like Irwin Allen, that have encouraged and inspired me to make the greatest pictures I possibly can. So, with that, I'll just say, lights, camera, action, and see you soon.